And we're back.
And Rebecca.
The fan's
That's
still
awesome.
on.
And I wasn't going to tell you, but it's on.
No, I know. I heard
and
it
I
the whole
snuck
time.
through.
No,
It doesn't count. We already started.
Yeah.
It's definitely.
It doesn't count. I won this one,
It
guys.
sounds
No, I heard it the whole time.
I won this one.
That's really not
You
how
didn't-
this works.
If
Guys,
I didn't
guys,
hear it,
guys,
if I didn't hear it the whole time, you would have got that would
Guys,
count.
listen. Yeah, I understand this is always going to be a 3 versus 1 sort of thing, a 3v1. You have to have my back here. I won this round. Are you? Whatever.
You could just take the fan out.
I don't.
I'll
No,
take
that's
you out.
impossible.
I'll
We'll
take
just-
you
That's
out.
We'll
impossible.
hire a
I'd have to do-
hitman and they'll come in and snip the cord.
Oh, I see. You mean like physically
yeah.
take it out?
Yeah, just
Okay.
like the dock workers, the longshoremen.
Yeah.
That's
Dude.
why that strike is over after like what 3 days?
Was it
What's
over?
over?
Yeah.
They-
Heck yeah,
2
good
weeks,
deal.
something like
they
that.
cave in. Gave him
Yeah.
money.
Well,
So
Jimmy read more about it, and it's like
oh, it's a pit. It's a pit of information that's just out there. So I think
And
they
misinformation.
came to an agreement, and so right now they're just settled on pay, so that way negotiations can continue, quote unquote. But it's a 62% increase over 6 years.
But you should
So-
hear how much they already make.
Like 80K.
Yeah,
A
the
lot.
Base salary is like
With-
80K right
with,
now.
With 0 credentials. This is
Right.
like fresh off the street. You have no
Yeah.
no training.
That's day one. You're making
Wow.
that. So people who have been there for 10 years are probably making quite
It's
a bit
also
more.
not
so.
like a job that everybody's gonna want to do, though.
For sure.
Like
For
it's
sure,
hard
but-
work.
Yeah.
And
It's a blue collar job.
I get that. It's just like it's wild when you have no real negotiating. Like you have a resume. You've been doing it. You have experience. You have a degree. Like you have bargaining. Like hey, I would like this. I would like that. To be like, I have a pulse, and I've been doing this for like I know it's because it's a union or whatever, but I also saw that the guy is an older guy with like prescription sunglasses who's like, we need this and this and this, and some guy like broke down and did like a split screen. He's wearing like Versace sunglasses.
Yeah.
They're like $1,500.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's like, yeah, you definitely need a pay raise, brother.
So now the dock workers, after 6 years, are going to be making like $130,000 just off the street. So no
Well,
experience, just
Right.
coming in.
Wow.
I
Not
also
including
brought up to
overtime.
Jimmy though, like think about what areas these are in, and if you're like living in New York City or certain parts
They're-
of New Jersey,
Yeah, but
Oh.
they're
the
not
cost,
all there.
I know, but I'm just saying the cost of living in some of these areas,
It's
like
insane, yeah.
you can't survive on 80,000.
Sure.
Yeah, it's
So
insane.
like
Yeah.
that is,
That's hard.
you also have to think about like we don't know that aspect.
Well, listen, I think people should get paid what they're worth, most likely. Not most likely. I think people should get paid what they're worth, but that one did rub me the wrong way because it's like, we're going to put the American public at risk here
well,
to get more
we're-
money.
We're also all going to pay for it.
For sure.
With all of the like how it's going to affect the like you know what I mean.
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
not-
like you just start paying people more money, and
Right.
that's got to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
Companies aren't going to take a cut in their profit. They're just going to pass it on to the consumer.
Yeah. Which is interesting. I don't know much about the whole tariff situation, but somebody was breaking down
What's the what situation?
tariff. Like
Tariff.
Oh,
it's a,
tariff.
so Trump has proposed like a 20% and or 60% tariff on imported goods. Like I think 60% from anything from China, and people are like, well, that's just going to raise the cost of everything. Well, it could, but then those like Chinese distributors to stay competitive in the market should have to drop their costs to for that to work, or they'll find somebody local and have will buy local. And look, man, I think we're just in a position. I'm glad you guys were here for my economic TED Talk, by the way. I think we're just in a position where there's not a perfect solution, any route forward. But man, those dudes are making, like where we live, that's real fine money.
Oh
It's
yeah.
great money.
And there's a few of those cats that are working in places where we live, basically.
Right.
I mean, they're on the coast, but
Yeah.
Well, it's like also the guy who's arguing it for it. Part of the other deep dive is like he's been tied to a crime family.
yeah.
So it's like he is just a member of the mob who is just like treating it like a mobster of like we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that and you guys aren't moving.
Dude,
like
I got those vibes because the stuff I heard him saying, I
Yeah.
was like, you're going to wind up in a shallow grave.
I
You
think-
know what I mean? Like some of the stuff he was saying, I was like, you can't just call out like billionaires like that, I
Yeah.
don't think.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
he was brought up on charges, or maybe he was around someone that was brought up on charges of like racketeering, the same stuff that like Diddy has been brought up on. So it's just interesting that like
With
this is the
lube and
guy.
stuff?
What?
With lube and stuff?
No, but
Lube racketeering?
Diddy is charged with racketeering. This guy was also charged with racketeering.
I don't know all those like sexual lingo. I don't know what kind of act that is. But anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, it's just he's out there just extorting people, and this is the guy that you chose to represent your union. And then like his sons are also like the head of these other local unions everywhere, so they're making.
Did they choose him to represent their union?
I think they did.
You think so?
I mean, it seems to be like a nepotism kind of thing of like you have to know someone, and then you're just like, oh, you know,
Right.
this Haggard guy is going to be great.
This Haggard guy?
I think that's his last name, Haggard.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What a
Oh,
sick
wow.
name. Bill Haggard.
I thought you
Or
were
maybe
like
it's
taking a
Harold.
shot
I
at
don't
him. You
know.
were like, he's Haggard.
Harold
Oh,
Dugert?
yeah.
Something like that.
Dugert?
I don't know.
Duggart?
His name's not
I
important.
think we should read more and come more informed before we start throwing out random
I'm
people's
more of a-
names.
I'm more of a shoot from the hip sort of guy. So this Merle Haggard guy he doesn't sound like a very good.
Oh, Merle Haggard's the
fella.
worst.
First of all, Jim, you just watch what you say.
Jim, you don't even know who that is.
He's a country star. He was at the Crawford County Fair one year. Didn't show up.
He remembers.
Jimmy holds grudges.
He's still mad about
One
it.
thing you know about Jimmy, what he lacks in like social skills and intelligence, he makes up for in holding a grudge. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Is that a camel pack?
It is.
Jimmy,
I thought you would
dripped on
really
your-
enjoy
dripped
it.
on your shorts.
That's okay.
This is the most Jimmy accessory, and I
So
love it.
he
for
started
you.
riding. He joined a club
A cycling
at
club.
work, a cycling club where they ride for like an hour and a half every Wednesday. And he was like, I need a Camelback, so we bought another one.
Nice.
I like
What's
that
in
for you.
there?
It's just water.
Crystal Light,
Yeah.
64 ounces of
2
Dude,
liters.
icy.
That's,
2 liters.
That might be worth it.
Yeah.
I would wear one of those.
I mean, it's,
Does
Dude,
Is
if I had
it
3
is-
gallons of water in there,
Is it insulated? Like, will your hot back make your water hot?
I don't think so. I mean,
That's-
I filled it up with cold water before I went, and it was nice because like the other guy next to me had to like reach underneath his bike to grab his water
And you were like,
bottle.
no, take a nip off of this, and you
Yeah.
handed it to him?
Oh yeah.
That's dope, dude.
were you guys riding as you gave it to him?
No.
Oh, because that would have been sick if like you like extended the plastic tube.
And we're just
As you guys
connected
were
like
riding.
by like an umbilical cord.
Yeah.
I'm also definitely picturing you in the like Tour de France outfit with that banana helmet just
I am-
down on the handlebars.
These guys love to bike and love to cycle. I am probably the most like I'm the sore thumb that sticks out because
But
I'm
I
like
mean,
showing up in this and they're
are
like
are they
zipped
in-
up and
Oh, they
aerodynamic.
are?
Yeah,
Dude, how are you keeping up with them?
He couldn't the
I
first day.
couldn't.
Well, do you know why?
No, so like I was middle of the pack for the first trip that we did, and it was like
Is it all flat ground?
on the first trip it was pretty much flat ground, but then at the end there's like this hill that's like this, and everyone's just like pedaling up it, and I'm like,
Dude, you know how much harder you're working than them?
yeah,
Those bikes, so I know a guy who is really into cycling. And on like the Tour de France, those guys, you're talking like a $35,000 bike.
yeah,
Like there's obviously levels to the game of any game, but I'll bet you're seeing some like $5,000 or $10,000 bikes out there.
oh yeah.
And like you're probably on a Walmart special.
No, I think I bought my bike from one of the bike shops here in town.
Walt?
And no,
Feet.
CycleX.
Should have gone with White Walt.
No, CycleX is great.
Walt's
they've
Walt's a
taken
good
care
guy.
of me. Yeah,
Walt's a good guy.
Walt might be a good guy, but I
Might
also
be
know
a good guy.
I also know Brian. Brian's my boy. He's gonna take care of me. I got free tune-ups for life.
Brian's his boy, dude. Is it
Cyclex is a terrible name.
Cycle Extreme. That's what it stands for.
It's not extreme.
Yeah, well,
You're like
I mean-
riding through rings of fire. What's extreme about it?
they
almost-
have every bike you could want.
Anyway, yeah, dude, that's cool. I like that for you. That's not really my jam. I'm not really built for that, but I kind of wish I was. I tried to bike one time in my life. It was just for cardio, and it was pretty rad. Like springtime, weather's nice. But dude, I got humming down this hill one time when I was in college, and it was like the last time because it was like you hit a big enough rock, and it's like just
Yeah, no, it's,
movie quality wreck. Like it probably would have exploded. There'd have been a spark somehow. There's just shrapnel behind me of my.
my feed has been full, and I know it's because I liked one video, I think, but my feed has been full of like bulls going berserk and like in different ways. It's like
Dude, that might be my fault. I sent you
it's
like
probably
2
why.
bull videos.
I think
swear
that's what
I
it
did.
is. Yeah,
One of them I saw I want you to talk more about yours, but I wanted to show you because I don't think you have TikTok anymore. You don't watch it, but
Yeah, I'm not really on it. But
it was so gnarly, dude. It was this adult lion limping. It was like just 3-legged,
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, dude, that
And-
was wild.
and it had a broken off, but it
Yeah.
had a full. Have you seen it?
Mhm.
Have you seen it, Jim?
Yeah,
No.
I showed it to you.
We
Oh,
all have the
maybe
same
it's a
I didn't.
tusk
feed.
or something.
It's a tusk
all
through
the way
it.
through its like thigh.
Yeah.
and just wearing it. You know,
It's insane.
that's so crazy.
Yeah, the ones I was seeing was just various things like people like there's bulls loose in the street in different countries and stuff like that or whatever. But
loose bulls.
there was one where this gigantic bull was like chasing down this girl, and there was like these cages for people.
I've seen that one.
Did you
too.
see that one too? And then like she kind of gets halfway in there, but she can't fit through all the way, and then like the bull like kind of
It lifts her up.
yeah, throws her up in the air. And then, like, she lands, and then the guy kind of grabs her and just rips her through the rails. But, like, dude, I can't.
I will never want superpowers worse than watching animals like that fight.
Yeah,
How sick it would be just to go, like, head-to-head with a bull like that.
yeah,
But I'm dumb. Also gorillas, also bears.
yeah.
I sent you a gnarly bear fight. Did you see it?
No, I didn't see that one.
It's, like, close up, and they go for a minute.
Wow.
It's gnarly.
Dude, there was some of them, like, to see how high they can jump, too.
Isn't that
the
wild?
Bulls jump. It's crazy. They're clearing, like, 8-foot fences.
I was going to say, I've seen them, like, hit 6 feet, no problem.
like-
and that's like a 2,500-pound animal.
I know.
That's a lot of muscle.
I don't. Did you guys see this one? I saw one. There's like small, like, alleyways.
Small people. Oh,
And
small
there's this gigantic. It's jacked. The bull is jacked. He looks so muscular, and he coming down, and he can't stop, and he goes head first into one of the concrete walls, and he goes like limp for a second, and he like knocked himself out or rang his bell, and then like it falls over, and then he gets up, and then like kind of is like dazed, and then like he runs down after some people, and then another one comes, and it kind of stops because he was on the ground. But then, as it's turning the corners, its hoof, like skipping on the stones, is like shooting up sparks.
That's dope.
And then, like, he turns the corner, and I was like, "This is ridiculous! Like, why would you want to be? It's so dangerous. Like,
That's so funny.
People just love the thrill of the chase.
hooves are friggin'
If you could pick, okay, I asked this to one of my clients the other day. I'm not saying you have to do it. I'm saying like you snap your fingers and you did it for bragging rights. What's like? Would you rather like climb Mount Everest? Have been one of those people, or like run with the bulls, or like what's the thing where you'd like? I have no interest in doing this, but this would be the coolest one to be like, yeah, I did that.
man,
Everest would be sick. But
I don't like to be cold, so I don't.
Well,
think,
but you don't really have to be. It's just like I snapped my fingers and you did it. You know, it's bad. I don't know why
It's
I'm
a
being so
memory.
flamboyant with my hand movements right now. Sorry.
It is very.
I'm being
Very
I'm being
flamboyant.
majestic.
yeah, very
I'm in a
flamboyant.
majestic mood.
I don't know.
I might have to think on that, and we'll have to come back.
The
af-
running with the bulls seems. Can I use this word? It seems a little romantic. It was like I was in Spain and
Yeah,
we ran at the bulls and then we salsa danced all night. I don't even know if they salsa dance there. I'm not
probably
sure.
not.
So that sounds more of like a trip to Spain then. It's like, it's not really running with the bulls that you're romanticizing there. It's like just being in Spain.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I guess what I'm saying is like when you climb Everest, that's kind of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like there seems anyway. Jim, thanks, bud, for your addition.
I don't know
All right.
because part of it.
Well, thanks for stopping by.
Do you, podcast is over. Do you guys have? Do you have memories of doing it?
Yeah,
But it's just over?
Yeah, it's just over. Like in other words, if I ask you what do you want to do for bragging rights, you're going to tell me you're not going to say Everest because like most people die.
Right.
But I'm saying you're through it. You know there's no risk. You're gonna get it done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe like start a fight in San Quentin.
Oh wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just-
what? Yeah. Went to prison,
Went to prisons actually. That's a sick one.
but it's just over.
Military would be a good one. Like fought in the
Oh
war.
yeah. Yeah.
Like
Does it have to be something that's like been done already?
mm,
Could be like, I
'cause you're gonna
discovered-
be like I went
Like,
to
are-
Mars.
what are you wanting
No.
to do that somebody else hasn't done?
Discovered El Dorado, the city of gold.
Oh, greedy. I get what you're saying. You want to be super greedy and ruin the game? Yeah, let's do that one for you.
Okay.
Gosh, Jim.
El Dorado.
Well, it's because I know why he picked that. So we have this show that we've been watching, and it's what is it? Mysteries.
Yeah, it's like the greatest.
The greatest
or something.
mysteries.
Mysteries Unsolved.
Kind
Mysteries.
of, but it's like they do this like one episode on like random things. So like I watched one the other day that was like all on DB Cooper, and it talked about all the
Ooh.
different people that DB Cooper could have been. I also watched one, and I can't remember now what it was, but El Dorado is one of them.
I was sending you a ton of stuff a while back about Elvis. Did you see any of those? Mm-hmm. There's like
Yeah.
a guy they think is Elvis.
Oh, I saw them. They were a while ago though.
Yeah. It's like kind of low key like a distant relative of his or like through marriage or something. And there's like all these things they share in common, and he's like a world class vocalist. Anyway.
What is he? He's from here?
Yeah. Yeah, he's like white headed and he's like a gospel singer now, but like when you hear him it's like, well, that's Elvis.
Oh.
And he's got like a granddaughter of his is like some relation. I don't know. I'll have to send him to you, but
I feel like Jimmy's should have been flown through the Bermuda
Bermuda Triangle.
Triangle
Oh, that
and,
would've been a cool one.
and survived.
that's cool. But people have done that, right? Like that
Yeah.
isn't, you wouldn't be the first one.
No, people
By the way,
have.
Jim, you are in El Dorado. We've built it. You're welcome.
Yeah.
City cast iron.
Oh.
Anyway,
I
we have. Jimmy was
We
totally
have?
off. We have.
I feel like Amy's would be something like, I don't know.
Amy's.
I want to
Amy's
be like an
you know what-
Olympic athlete.
you
Like
know
I
what-
want to win a gold medal.
You know what Amy's would be?
If that's
That's a good one. But for your personality, I wouldn't wish this on you. But she shows up like 10 car pile up, and she's just like quarterbacking, like saving lives. You know what I mean? Like Amy's that one. Like she bursts onto the scene, and she's just like
Yeah.
you know what's funny?
ice water in her veins. She's like directing the doctors.
Right.
They're like, I need to do this. It's like, shut up. You do this. You do that.
Yeah.
Someone boil some water. I don't know what
Yeah.
you do in that
So
situation.
We need blankets and hot water.
We need
You
cold
guys-
compresses. Stat.
you guys see that out of me, but like all of the people that I work with, like there are like so many people that are like, you take that and it's like times 10. Like some of the people that I work with,
Yeah.
like that are like wonderful in
Yeah.
that type of way. Like it's crazy. I work with some really awesome people.
Yeah, I guess that's a little boring one for you because, like, I wouldn't tell Nate like to win an eating challenge because that's already too close to home. You know, like he's already done a few things. He's got a bit of a resume.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
true.
Gold medal's a really good one. You
Nope.
don't want to dedicate your life to it, but like after the fact, if you could just have it, that's
Yeah.
a good one.
I want to be I want to be the
Man,
best.
that would be cool.
That is a good one. Because that's a credential too. That's pretty sick.
It's only cool. These things are only cool if you don't flaunt them. If you're like just in a conversation and somebody's like, "Yeah, I hit a PR today at the gym," and you're like, "Yeah, I won a gold medal." Like that sucks,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But if you're like,
Well, nobody likes a one-upper.
yeah, nobody. If you're like, if somebody's like, I don't even know, like, man, I'd love to go to Asia. It's like, yeah, I was in Tokyo one time. It's a pretty rad place. And like you're talking. Oh, what brought you to Tokyo? It's like I had a function there, and they're like a function. It's like, oh, the Olympics. Oh, you went to the Olympics? How cool is it? I was like, so cool. A little while later, it's like, yeah. After we competed, we did it. You competed, and then it just finally pulled it out of you. It's like,
it just keeps going. They're like, what?
oh yeah, I didn't tell you. I won gold in the Tokyo Olympics. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that with other stuff too, where it's like, where if for Amy, for instance, she could do where she won you won OSG
Oh gosh, no.
because you wouldn't have had to go through the process of it.
oh yeah.
Like
Oh,
you're already
that's
you're
cool.
through it and you've done it, and so then it's like you've got that under your belt. And
Wait,
then,
why
like-
why only me? Why not?
No,
you
I'm saying
guys?
like any of
Well,
us
any
could
of
do
us.
Okay.
that, but I'm saying like, you know,
Yeah.
For sure. That's a sick one.
like because then you would be like, oh, I didn't have to go through like 10 years of destroying my body.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if that would actually be part of it, but maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not the guy. I don't know. I just came up with the situation. I got a haircut and a beard trim. I want to talk about this later. I'm just going to mention this. And it's my first one in 4 years.
Yeah.
And I'm reminded immediately why I don't do this because my neck is on fire right now
Really?
from
Why?
the trim up.
Oh, like the
dude,
razor?
itching and just It's
Really?
yeah.
That's interesting.
Thanks.
Wait, so
Thank
wait,
you.
have you showered since? Are you saying the
No,
hair,
I
or
came
just
right
it's just
here.
from the?
No, it's just like irritation.
Where'd you go?
Imboss. Shout out to Liz. Go check out Liz at Imboss. She's good people.
Is that like? Do you guys have irritation when you?
Never.
I don't.
Maybe you just
I
have
don't-
sensitive skin.
Yeah, I don't tend to at home as much, but I think it was because I was like, and I apologize to her a ton, but I was like kind of sweaty when I walked in there because I was putting something together. And then I went in there and did that, and then I went to do something else that was sweaty, so I feel like I just need a quick shower. But yeah, it went in the cards, you know.
Did she use a straight razor on you?
No, I don't think so.
No, yeah, the hair after the haircut is the worst. Like
Yeah.
if you get the side shaved or something,
For
if you got the
sure.
little, that's the
It went away, like that went away, like that wasn't so bad. But I agree.
that's
It's-
what always gets me. Is
It's
that
like,
part.
was I hanging insulation today? Why am I so
Yeah,
itchy?
exactly. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. Mine are.
I talked about you.
me.
Yeah.
Wow. To
'Cause,
Liz,
Yeah, I always talk about you.
what'd she say?
She's like, he sounds like a goddess. Because I talk about you in the feminine.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I tell her that you're a man, but I'm like, he's beautiful. I don't even say you're handsome. I say he's beautiful.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something like normal to her about it. I thought you were just
No.
like normal conversation.
No, dude. I'm like, I talk to her. I'm like, you know that like quality that like an emerald has that's like beautiful green. His eyes are like that, but brown. It's indescribable.
And did she ask if we were in a relationship, or was she
She
just
knew.
like,
She knew.
oh, okay, you didn't have to tell her?
Listen, what's understood doesn't have to be explained. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean by that?
Yeah, yeah.
And it's look, dude.
Did you
look,
talk about Jimmy?
who?
Jimmy?
Oh, Jim. No, he didn't come up. He
Did
didn't.
you guys
come
see
up.
when I posted the last episode what I called you in there? I gave you like a wrestling title, and I put Jimmy Sweet Treat Nichols.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, in the caption I put, because like you're on the there, and then like the butterscotch pudding is next to you or
Yeah.
whatever. But then in the thing I said Jimmy Sweet Treat Nichols put in the work.
I
the
saw that,
PUDD.
actually.
I was like, dang it.
That could also be a prison nickname.
Pudding.
Yeah. Jimmy Sweet Treat Nichols. I
Speaking-
loved that. I said it like 40 times.
See,
Jimmy
speaking
Sweet
of,
Treat
of
Nichols.
pudding, I went to the movie last night. Checked out the new Joker. Mm-hmm. You guys seen it?
No.
Man, wild ride, wild ride,
I still haven't seen the first one.
dude. It's like a musical.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was advertised that way, and I just missed it. Tons of singing in it.
Yeah.
I feel like the ending could have changed my view either way. Like the movie itself was done well, but it was like very kind of bizarre. Like,
It's been getting torched, man.
dude, it's like as movies go, it was okay, but because you just like it's weird to take on that story in general. Like you've seen it told so many times that I'm like, how does that make sense with the other? And I realize it's like almost a different universe than all the other Batman and all the other Jokers.
Yeah.
And stuff. But it's like, how does that even make sense? You know what I mean?
Yeah, the
You know what I mean?
yeah, I was talking to one of the guys at the theater, just watched it when I got in there, and then he was like, it was horrible. He's like, it's 95% a musical.
See, but I don't. If you can separate yourself from this is the Joker in the Batman universe,
Right.
not a bad flick.
Yeah.
Because all the singing happens as like this dude's in. I'm not. There's no spoilers here. I don't think. He's in like the Arkham Asylum. It's like the mental hospital. So you kind of understand this is like a man who's unwell, and a lot of this he's imagining and stuff like that.
Right.
So like once you realize that, it's like okay, this is
Right.
just a device they're using in the in the movie or whatever. But then you're like, no, this is the Joker.
Right.
And I kept I'll tell you off air, 'cause I don't want to spoil for anybody, but I kept waiting for this like Joker spark, this Jokerness
Yeah.
that never really happened. But there was really sick parts.
Well, he was the reason I think he kept saying that it was even very different from like the feel of the first one.
I would agree.
And so he was like,
Total different.
Yeah, totally different thing. Was it the same director?
I think it was Todd Phillips,
Yeah. Yeah, that was the
but
first
it was
one.
like. So I don't think this is too bad of spoilers. Jim, you haven't seen the first one?
No,
I don't think this is a spoiler.
I probably won't watch it.
Bruce Wayne in the first one was a child when Arthur Fleck, I think is his name, the Joker, is like a full-blown adult. And I'm like, so like this dude would have had to been like 55 fighting a young Batman if they ever wanted to do that. So I'm like, And maybe the comic books are like that. I don't know, but
I don't know.
it's strange. The thing that stuck out the most that I forgot from the first one is Joaquin Phoenix must have caught a hatchet to the shoulder. He has like this disfigured like shoulder blade thing happening that was really prominent in the next, because he's like Christian Bale in The Machinist or whatever, skinny. He's so skinny.
Yeah.
Just ripping cigs the whole movie.
Nice.
Yeah.
I saw it in the first one. Like, I was like, oh, he's got
I
something
knew
going
you'd-
on.
I knew you'd clock that.
Yeah, he's got like a weird. It's almost like a section of his trap is missing or something.
It
like,
looks to me like his friggin' scapula
yeah,
has just been cracked down the middle, and like tectonic plates has caused like a.
I think he was like
Mountain
120 pounds or something.
Maybe.
Like, he was so skinny.
There are scenes where
He
he's
looks
just
so
sitting in a
crazy.
chair, like watching TV, smoking, and I remember in the movie thinking like, he's child skinny. He's like small child skinny.
Yeah, yeah,
That dude will die for a role. He's one of those, I'm pretty sure.
yeah, for sure.
Which is wild, man. That level of commitment, just
It's crazy.
hey, I need you just to be
Did he sing a lot?
a ton,
Oh wow,
a ton, probably more than Gogs. Lady G.
Lady G.
She was finally like, this is bad. I'm sorry. I'm going to be a man for a second. Never found her super attractive.
Right.
She was like kind of a little attractive in this one. I don't know if she's had work done or they just took the meat suit off of her, because she's always wearing like a suit of T-bones or something. Like
it's
she's
the-
doing
she-
weird
she
stuff.
yeah,
You don't
she's-
think that makes her more attractive?
No,
I
no,
don't
not
think so.
raw. Maybe if they were medium rare and like seasoned well, I'd be like, I can get down with that.
That might have been
Just
seasoned.
like, could have been, I guess. I don't know.
Jimmy?
They might have been seasoned.
Jimmy,
you're childlike in a
Jimmy-
sense. I
Don't
love
know.
it. The hardest I laughed, which Joker wasn't a comedy, but the hardest I laughed in the whole movie experience was a commercial I saw leading up to the previews, and it was like, I think it was like migraine medicine. It was a pharmaceutical, and like a lot of commercials these days, they're like very well represented, like demographics in there, like all shapes, sizes, and what have you. And then at the end, they did like one picture of all of them. It kind of reminded me of like the beginning of Friends, where they're all on the couch. It was kind of like a shot like that. And there was like, I believe, an Asian woman. Like everybody's like, there's a guy with a fedora, and there's like a girl in a beanie, and like they're all like different walks of life. And then there was like this Asian woman who had like one pant leg rolled up too high to show off her prosthetic leg. And what made me laugh about it,
Okay.
well, I know, but what made me laugh about it was thinking about in the marketing meeting, like they do the final shot and they're like, this looks good. And then like Frank's in the corner, he's like, I don't know, I think we're missing something.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're like,
Yeah.
what are we missing? And somebody was like, oh, people with prosthetics have migraines too. You know what I mean?
Oh my god.
It's just so funny, dude. It
You
reminds
guys know? Yeah, I know Zach knows it, but have you guys heard of the podcast Bad Friends?
No.
It's got just two comedians on it, and I listen to it every now and then. And I was watching an episode where it was one of the guys on the podcast. It was Bobby's birthday, and so the other guy on the show, his name's Andrew. He had this like super famous guy who, like, I guess they say has like ties to like the Yakuza or something.
Oh wow.
Andrew brought him on the podcast, and he did it for and it's like I guess it's one of Bobby's like famous like favorite artists. He does like custom like jewelry, diamond work, and like he does other stuff like that. And so he's like, you know, you told me I needed to spend a certain I needed to spend more than you spent on me for my birthday. So he's like, so I brought this guy in, and the guy's like, I commissioned him to make a custom piece for you. So he pulls out this necklace, okay? Like he hands him a bag, and it's got the necklace in it. And he pulls it out. And legitimately, it's a $260,000 necklace.
Why?
And he told him it actually is a $260,000 necklace, and it was like, he called it like glacier blue diamonds that he like hand cut, and then it has all this other stuff on it. There's like a kilo of gold.
Holy crap.
And so he puts it on, and he's like, this is so heavy, it's hurting my neck. and then he goes like, and what he made him was a giant cross. It's like this big.
Yeah.
And it's like a giant cross, and he's like, and the whole thing's a prank on Bobby, right? Because he's like, he's thinking like, oh my gosh, he spent 260 because it legitimately is worth that. But the guy's like, he comes in, he does the whole spiel, and then he's like, can I take off? Can I get out of here? And he's like, yeah. So then Andrew gets up and hugs the guy, and then like Bobby hugs him, and they're like, thanks for coming and everything. He leaves. And then Bobby's like, what the heck? He's like, you spent 200. He starts freaking out on him. He's like, I'll never wear this. It's a giant cross. He's like, I'm not religious. And he's like freaking out. He's like, you have to take this back. And he's like, no, he was like, this is what he made for you. I commissioned him to make something that he thought you would like. And he's freaking out. And so but come to find out, he was like, the guy just let him use the necklace for the prank. But like, and I guess they worked it all out, but they started getting into an actual fight because Bobby was freaking out that he was like, you spent $260,000 on this necklace. And it looks so preposterous. And
a lot of them do, dude.
Well, but I mean, who's going to, like, so he was just going to, after the fact, he was like, he just brought it. Because he had to finally tell him because Bobby was like freaking out. He was like, I'm gonna have to buy a vault and then put it in the vault. And he was like, and then I'll never get to wear it. And he's like, he's like, you should just take it back. He's like, this is too much pressure. He's like freaking out. He's like, I spent $1,000 on you for your birthday. And he's like, and then you spent like, $250,000 or whatever. And
what's the move though? When someone like that's obviously extreme. When someone buys you something way too expensive, what do you do? Because I've been in that situation like 1.5 times probably.
Hey,
I
really
don't think I've
appreciate
ever
this.
been in that situation.
You just appreciate it?
Yeah.
That's the move. You're right.
yeah, I mean, $260,000.
Well, that's
if they were like,
that's
like, here, I bought you a house.
That's 15 years of my salary. So.
I mean, and so then I was thinking I would bring it up on the podcast because I was like, what if it was real? If the whole situation, like, let's say that's the situation, right? Like, we're all killing it. The podcast is doing insane. And then it's like, oh, for Amy's birthday, like
Here's a lake house.
Yeah, we all got together. No, and we bought her like a watch or something, or we bought her something she doesn't really wear. And it's like $250,000.
I would be furious.
Wouldn't you be furious, right? See?
It depends what it is.
Yeah.
Because this is my thought. With those things, I think they're basically worthless once you have them commissioned.
Right.
But you buy somebody like a Rolex, though, and you do throw it in the safety deposit box or whatever, it's worth more when you go to sell it. Like they appreciate it in value.
Yeah.
But other than that, if it's something that's like it just says Amy on it, it's like a giant chain that says Amy. Oh, that would be great.
Yeah, and it was like, because it was a kilo of gold, so like 2.2 pounds. And then the chain was like super, like it was like platinum or something. It was super shiny. The whole thing was very gaudy. It was like
Herb Gotti.
You're also describing the cross that looks about the size of your hand from the way you're describing
yeah,
it.
it was
people
legitimately, it was probably the length of your guys' mics. Like it was like that.
That's big.
And they were like, take your shirt off. So like he took his shirt off and he was wearing it shirtless with like his glasses and like a beanie. It looked pretty dope when he was like that, actually, like if he was like an Asian rapper or something. But they had different famous people coming in that were surprising him that he didn't know they were coming. And every time Andrew was like, do you guys like his necklace? And they're like, yeah, it's really shiny. It looks it's so over the top. They hated it.
Yeah,
they hate, and they knew nothing
great.
about the prank that was going on.
That's
But Andrew
hilarious.
kept bringing him in on it. Yeah, it was really funny. But I was like,
There's like a premise of Friends. There's a show where there's an episode where Joey buys Chandler like this gaudy bracelet. And he's like, oh, you're not wearing the thing I got you. And I think that's what I would do it just because I don't think Amy, like, even though she'd be pissed, she'd be gracious enough that she wouldn't say anything. She'd be like, oh, thank you, this is ugly. That's what she'd say that in her mind. But I'd only do it if we could be like, oh, do you need to run home and grab, like, I'd notice you're not wearing it, do you need to run home and get it real quick?
see, but my thing is like, let's say somebody does that, right?
Yeah.
How, and you're like, okay, well, I'm going to sell this.
Yeah, what's
And-
the appropriate amount of time, though, too?
That's what I'm saying. It's like, if you're like, yeah, I got it in the vault, and they're like, oh, I noticed you bought a new car.
Yeah.
Like,
and then, like-
it came on hard times and just had to get rid of it.
Yeah.
What's funny, though, is also, like, where do you sell it?
Yeah.
Or do
Like
you try
Craigslist?
and like pop one of the diamonds off and be like, it fell off, and I
Oh,
I went ahead and sold one of the
that's true.
gems,
That's true. You sell some of the diamonds somewhere. That's not a bad
That's
idea.
so funny.
and I didn't want to tell you because,
Or
but that's also lying, and we
Or-
don't lie. But
you can leave it in your house, leave it in the vault unlocked, and just make sure it's insured. Just
Yeah,
let people know it's there, and then
you
someone
could-
takes it.
You could see
Insurance
it.
pays out.
The guy was going on. He's like, so these are hand cut, like blue glacier diamonds, straight from like this place. And he started talking about. He's like, I did this, custom making it. He was like 40. He said like, it was something insane, like 200 hours or something he spent making it. And you could just see like his stomach dropping, and he's like freaking out as he's talking about
I
how.
wonder if that part's real. Like how long you took to make it and stuff.
Yeah.
Because also on the flip side, it kind of sucks that you're trashing this dude's like art, even though you think it's like
Right.
yours or whatever.
Right.
It's like, this is so ugly, and the guy's listening later. He's like, okay, neat.
Well, it's just like a
I feel that way. I was having this discussion. I keep derailing this story. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
But I was talking to Kayla about tattoos. So she bought me a tattoo for my birthday, or a gift certificate for one. And we were talking about like going back and forth with the artist and being like, well, this is cool, but can you make it look like this? And I told her, like, I'm going to be really particular about a tattoo, obviously. But on some level, it feels weird because you're not saying, like, hey, I want this. You're saying, hey, your art that you just made isn't good enough.
Right.
So make better art.
Right.
I did that once, though. I showed up to get a tattoo, and the guy kind of wasn't listening to what I wanted. And he was like, yeah, just, go grab lunch. I'll get this drawn up and come back and do this. And I never came back.
Yeah.
And I feel bad about that because I should
Yeah.
have been man enough to be like, hey, man, I'm asleep on it. I'll get back to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, though, like a tattoo it is permanent. It's so forever
Yeah.
that like you shouldn't like. It's not the same as a haircut where you're kind
Right.
of like, I'll try it. We'll see if I like it.
Right.
There's a lot more money and a lot more skin in the game.
I don't know, man. Yeah, I guess so. Some people, though, I have friends who didn't know what they wanted, like on the way to the parlor, just got something.
Yeah.
That would be me.
And I'm okay. Oh, you did that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with that too, because like I had a friend, one of my roommates in college, one of the years, she got just like a flower. It was like a flower she thought was pretty, but she had it associated with like a time in her life. Like it had nothing to do with flowers.
Right.
Yeah.
It was like, I think of this when I see this, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Get a corn dog though. Like why a flower?
Corn dog.
Corn dogs are delicious. Who's with me?
Are you gonna get a tattoo of a corn dog?
I've thought about it many
I think
times.
you should.
I kind of want a face tattoo, and I
think
want
you
one
should do
so
two
bad.
corn dogs right down here on
It's
your
so
hip.
ridiculous.
I want one so badly.
It's so ridiculous.
You'd still love me.
Yeah, but it's like,
Look, dude, boys will be boys,
it's just a bad idea. It's just a bad idea.
Why?
Just, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Tell me why.
I don't know.
Then
I don't know. I
shut
don't really
your-
have any
Then
major.
shut your face. Hey, can I ask you two questions?
Yeah.
Will you still love me?
Yeah.
Is it your face?
No.
Okay, we're done. You know what I
Alright,
mean?
It's true. It's
All
true.
right.
What about if we buy like a little decal and we try it on and we put it on your face and you walk around for a full 2 days with the decal on your face just to see like other people's reactions and if you're okay with that and
I-
if you love the decal
Right.
on your face.
Well, two problems with that. Number one, I'd have
and
to
your daughter,
find-
does your daughter gonna love
Oh,
your
she's on board,
face
dude. She's
with
on
that?
board. Two problems. One, I don't think you can find the specific. Maybe there's like an Etsy shop where they'll make the art specific to what I want and then turn it into a decal. in
What
which-
do you want on your face?
Hey, I was almost done. Hold on. And then number two, you can clearly tell it's a decal. So like the reaction I'm getting from people is going to be different because it's like this dude has a stick on his face,
Well, you could just do a fake one. You could just do one of the ones that wear off.
like a henna.
Oh yeah, you can do a
Yeah. What
henna.
is that? It's like a.
A
Yeah.
henna?
Are they actually? Yeah.
No, you can get tattoos now that are like I think they last up to like 6 weeks.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's like a. Yeah.
but
there's
where
something.
would you put it on your face? You
What-
don't have a whole lot of real estate.
What
Yeah.
is it?
Yeah.
What
What's
am I
it gonna
getting?
be?
That's the hard part. That's why I don't have one right now. If I knew, it'd
It
already
could be
on there.
It could be a corn dog.
Hey, shut up, Jim. Okay, so since
not
you
ruling
don't
out corn dog, I'm
since you
just-
don't know what you want, then where would you want it?
That too, because I think what it is helps define where it goes.
Okay, are we talking underneath an eye on your forehead?
Again, it depends what it like. So I
What
could
about a-
never do this because it's already been done, and like Jelly Roll has it. But I think the cross on Jelly Roll's face is sick.
Yeah.
I think when dudes do like their script right here by their eyebrows, pretty nasty. I don't know, maybe like a bear paw right here. I don't know.
Would
I
you
haven't decided.
shave your beard for that?
No. Well, maybe
You could always put it down like there where your
Cover
beard covers it.
Kabir.
What if you put the IFG logo Just right on the cheek.
That's a tax write-off.
Yeah.
I'm advertising, baby.
Or you
No,
can
I
get
don't
a
know.
T-bone.
Where's
Amy,
the-
say it.
What?
Every time it buzzes, Amy goes, "Who's doing it?" Did you guys hear it buzz?
Yeah.
Oh
Somebody
yeah,
got
I heard it
text.
buzz
I
and
was like, I don't know where.
Yeah.
buzz. What's in that box?
What's in the box?
My contacts.
Is it
Her
Anybody
contacts
Oh,
lenses.
okay.
Nobody gets the reference.
Uh-uh.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
Uh-uh.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt.
Well,
No.
I thought it was Justin Timberlake.
Brad Pitt.
Oh,
7.
yeah, 7.
You
Head
guys
in the,
too young.
Head in the box.
Yeah, dude, it's a messed up movie. You ever
That
seen
is
7?
yeah, I've seen it.
It's messed up.
Yeah, it is.
Jimmy had nightmares for months.
I've never seen it.
You've never
and
seen
it was
7?
still
He
terrifying.
blocked it out.
It's been a long
Blocked it
time
out.
since I've seen it, but yeah, that was
Speaking
So,
of,
question.
oh, no,
You,
you,
you go. You
no,
go ahead.
You go. Mine's less
Okay.
interesting.
So, I want to know how like Axe is still in business for like men's deodorant and body spray.
Mm,
So the new flavor or scent that came out
my dad says flavor.
is cookie and leather.
Oh, I see why you go flavor.
Why would they? What like
That-
how?
it's mixed
Did
together?
you
It's
go over
mixed
there
together.
and smell it?
I did not.
Well,
But
I
it's
think
like-
I have an answer because I had this same question when I found out they had chocolate.
Yeah.
But I think Nate told me, or somebody told me, it's just called that. It doesn't
Yeah.
smell like that.
But cookie and leather, like
But it doesn't
what?
smell like that.
It's just more of like the branding that they would choose for that.
Still
like, why
real
wouldn't they
weird,
come up with
yeah.
something else? It's
like
like,
cookie.
smesh. Like I'm just picturing
Smash.
freshly baked cookies
It's like
and then
this-
put like a leather scent on top of it. It's just
This will
weird.
remind you when your grandma made you warm chocolate chip cookies and then took the strap to you.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Just really burn that leather.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know, dude. They're all the sense of that stuff is getting ridiculous.
Right.
Like, how many more can they stack on? Because I saw one the other day. There was like 5. It was like birch,
Mahogany.
mahogany, orange, sweet
The
candy. It was like 7 scents mixed in one.
It's almost like cologne. Like cologne, they'll layer scents and stuff like that.
Right,
But it's
yeah.
like
the beard oil
just-
that Liz put on me today smelled awesome, and I was like, "What is that?" And it was pretty manly. It was leather, oak, and lavender. And I was like, "Well, 2 man points for me.
Yeah.
Lavender, take it or leave it, I guess. Manly wise,
I think lavender's pretty neutral.
lavender smells great. I'm not saying take it or leave it smell wise. I'm saying like manly wise. It's on the.
Have you
it's on
guys
the
seen? Have you guys seen? Like, I think they get gifted a lot. Like, it's like more of a. I don't think anybody buys it unless they're like, I don't know what to get for this person for Christmas, and then they just buy like a soap kit or something for.
I get one of those every year.
Yeah. So I.
You have to change the end of this story.
No.
Like it's the worst, and you're like, oh,
No. It's the sense of like they. So I got one, and have you guys ever heard of Duke Cannon? That brand.
yeah.
So
Wait, hold on. A soap kit?
Yeah, it's like
like a
different. It's,
body
just
wash
different
kit.
bars of soap. It's
Oh.
bars. It's different bars
I
of
don't
soap.
get that. Never mind.
And one of them was Bush Light.
Okay.
That's the scent, and it also smelled like it.
No.
But you were
And then-
washing you're expected to wash your body with
Yeah,
the
and then one of them was Buffalo Trace,
Okay.
Okay.
and it had like something else mixed in there, and then there was another one that was
Regret.
like Budweiser,
Yeah.
and
So
I
you
was,
smell like an alcoholic college.
I'm like,
dormer.
what are the like? They don't smell exactly like that.
Yeah.
But some of them, I was like, oh, you can smell beer in this,
Yeah.
and I'm like, why would you
It's
guys
gotta
do
be,
this?
It's got to be novelty, right?
It is, I guess. Yeah, it's like.
But like, have you ever heard somebody? Back to Jimmy saying layering. Have you ever heard somebody talk about that? Like some dudes that are really into cologne. Which, by the way, if you're putting more than one on at a time, which is what they do, it's perfume. That's what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, you do a spray of this and like 3 sprays of this, and you put it on the outer and on the inner, and it's like, no.
No.
I
Well,
may
so,
not
like-
be like hip or anything, but I don't know girls that put on like 5 different sprays. Like most
Right.
girls have like a spray.
Yeah.
So I will say, like the cologne that I have, like has that layering in it, but it tells you like you're getting this like English leather, and this is the sense of it.
But
and that
it's
way-
just one bottle to spray.
Yeah,
though.
yeah, it's just one
not-
bottle.
I'm talking about 4 different products
Oh.
from 4 different places that have nothing to do with. Like I'm doing the 1 spritz of the Sauvage and one of the Polo and 2
One
of
spritz.
That's
the
too
2
much.
of the
Nautica.
Nautica. I'm trying to remember the one Todd used to wear.
Curve.
Curve. How did you know?
Curve, yeah.
Curve was that.
That's
deal,
like from
dude.
my childhood.
Yeah, Curve is
Yeah.
like.
I'd
dude,
wear Curve.
I know a lot of people who still wear it.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That
Yeah.
would that's a scent that would take me back.
I know,
Like
yeah.
first or second
And I
boyfriend kind
smelt
of
it.
thing.
I smelt it. Lacey's dad wears it.
Yes.
And I smelt the smell, and I was like, "That's Curve. He's wearing Curve." I
That's
knew
Curve.
It.
He's wearing Curve.
Yeah.
You just yell it.
Yeah. I know
My-
people that do.
My grandpa used to wear Old Spice, but like back before it was this old, it was the.
I know what you're talking
Oh,
about. Yeah.
dude, take me back.
My dad had it came in like a white bottle.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it had like a little. It was almost
Like
like
a
a push
plug?
top. It was a little
Yeah.
plug.
Yeah.
And my dad would use that like after he'd shave or something.
Oh, dude, what
And
a
you
man!
just smell older. It's
Yeah.
so nice.
The Irish Spring.
Irish Spring was a sick,
Irish Spring, dude.
Did you guys ever have bod?
Yeah, I was about to bring
Oh,
that
yeah.
up. I probably told it on here before, but they, it was like 6th, 7th, 8th grade. They came out. It looked like Windex. It was in one of
It
those
was a-
bottles.
The
It was
giant
huge.
Windex bottle.
It was huge with that sprayer.
Yeah, it looked like just a giant Windex bottle.
Do you know in the spy movies where they used to spritz the room with something to see the lasers?
Mm-hmm.
This is what my high school or junior high basketball locker room looked like. Dudes just like, oh, I don't need to wash this week.
I mean, I remember guys. I was
It was like an 8-ounce spray. Like every spray was like 6 to 8 ounces.
I was at camp once over summer, and this one chunky kid, his name was Mason.
His name was Nathan.
No, his name was Mason, not me. No. And I'm already kind of halfway, just like this. Anytime that this week can end would be great because it's 93 degrees in our cabin.
And you're like, you know how many episodes of Bonanza I've missed to be here?
Yeah, like sleeping in a sleeping bag. I ended up just being on top of it the whole time, just stuck to it from sweating all night long. And then this kid,
How often are we showering?
I mean, I think I showered like one time that whole week because the showers were like team showers, you know?
Sick.
It was like if you're in there showering, it's like everybody's in there naked.
Buddy system.
Yeah. And so, yeah, the buddy system. And he came back to the cabin. This thing's 300 square feet or whatever.
Okay.
You know?
And he's taking up 100 of them?
And he has like that giant bottle of bod.
Yeah.
And then he just is like, just keeps spraying. And the entire, it like burns your eyes because the whole cabin was full of this, like he sprayed like 15 times.
Chemicals.
And he's like, yeah, that'll, like, you know what I mean? He thought he was like awesome, you know, after he got it on.
That's like my rebuttal when people are like, you heard about glyphosate? It's in everything. I'm like, dude, I lived through bod spray. I'm pretty sure I'm good. You know, like you know how many of those I took straight, like
Can you still buy it?
inhaled?
Can you still
Probably.
get it?
So
Dude, I'm going to get a bottle of
black
it.
market.
I'm going to find it, see if
The
I can get a
bod
bottle.
black.
What's that?
Oh, excuse me?
The bod, the black scent.
Go on.
Yeah, I want you to expand upon this.
It
That'd
was
be great.
it was in a black bottle. It's
Okay.
black.
Okay.
Oh.
That's the name of the scent.
Okay.
Okay,
Gotcha.
we dodged
All
that
right.
one.
That's great.
Dodged
That's
that
great.
one.
I'm glad you clarified that.
Yeah, I really thought we were going to have to ask you to leave the podcast for expressing views and opinions that we, frankly, do not share.
Yeah. I mean,
Anyway, I'm glad you clawed out of that one, Jim.
the only one I remember was like crystal blue,
Yeah,
and then the top was orange.
You know what it looked like?
You guys
Yes,
remember? Yeah,
yes.
it was like that. Like
it looked like my favorite Gatorade.
Yeah, it looked
like
like
that-
glacier blue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude,
You
take
know-
me back.
I wonder what it smells like. I can't even remember.
Oh, I think
I just remember it being so strong you couldn't even.
I think you could. I think someone could walk past not knowing what they're wearing and know what they're wearing. You know what I mean? Like you can't think of it.
Yeah.
But I think when you smelled it, you'd know it.
I feel like if one of your sisters is listening, this is what you're getting for Christmas.
Was there any like that for girls? Like, was there famous ones that that everybody was wearing?
Girls. I think a lot of the girls just gravitated towards like Bath and Body Works, like the different sprays. But
Amy, tell me if you have this experience, because my experience from like that, like junior high school, if a girl smelled strongly of those things, I feel like she was always a smoker. I feel like that's what all my friends who smoked, they had 2 of those in their car, like.
maybe, I mean, I didn't have a lot of friends that were like smokers.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
There was like 1 or 2 girls that I knew that smoked, but not a lot of my friends smoked.
That's Amy Klickner for you. She sees somebody who's bad news.
No.
And she says, you know what? Not me.
Do you know what I think it
Straight
is?
and narrow.
I think it's more that like their parents smoked and they wanted to have nothing to do with it. And I
yeah.
actually had like
Yeah.
me and Jimmy have talked about that a lot of like the different friends that like we've known. It's just like not
Yeah.
like you are so over that
Right.
smell that you're like, I'm not going to do that. That's
Yeah.
gross.
I have never lived in a house with it.
I
but
haven't either, but I've had friends
but-
who did.
I love the smell of cigarettes.
Yeah.
If I'm not in an enclosed space, that's the caveat.
I think what
Yeah.
what you're talking about is like that first, like when a cigarette is first lit and
Yeah.
you're first smelling that first
The
little
smell of
bit of
the
it. Like to be
tobacco.
around it long term is.
Yeah, it's different. Like if you're in a like when bars used to have smoking. By the way, I'm old enough that bars used to have smoking.
Yeah,
There is
I
a bar that
remember
still
when
has
they
smoking.
got rid of that.
I remember when the Chinese buffet had a smoking and non-smoking section, not separated by a wall. They
Right.
were just different
Yeah.
sides of the
Yeah.
room.
Yeah.
But my buddy Mike, he was I'm only bringing this up because he was a very straight and narrow kid. He was a Mormon kid. They were a very devout family, and I remember him smelling a cigarette. And he's like, "Oh, it smells like the 4th of July. I love that." Like in his mind, he just associated it with like
the 4th of July.
or
Yeah.
like a carnival or
Right.
something. like that.
America.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, I love that.
That's funny.
This is really good."
I remember. I don't remember where we were, but I don't remember how old I was. What year did they switch that? Because I remember hearing my dad be like, "They need to. This is ridiculous." Because he hated when we'd go into places.
Yeah.
And then it was like it smelled like smoke.
Well, in Missouri, I think it changed in 2018 because I think we were late adopters. But
Yeah.
I remember it being like I was old enough that I remember it being like a big deal when it was like all of Columbia. Like there was
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
I
I
remember
lived
that.
in Columbia
Yeah.
when it was
Was it
happening.
early 2000s? I
I'm
remember
gonna
when
say
that happened.
tens. I'm gonna
Yeah.
say it could be like early thousands, the odd years or the tens. You know,
Because I remember.
I feel
that.
like it might have been like, because I was in college. I thought,
oh, it's like 94.
shut up.
Oh, crap. Sorry. No, I'm kidding.
No, I was gonna say like
Oh, it's all fun.
I was gonna say like somewhere in there, like 2005.
Yeah.
Like 2000,
Maybe, yeah.
somewhere between 2005.
We'll Google it on the.
I remember
and we'll have
the,
more
um,
information here
the
in a minute.
bowling alley in Moberly. They outlawed smoking for a long time, and like went to new ownership, and you still would walk out of there reeking for years. You're talking
Yeah.
like dudes ripping heaters
Mm-hmm.
for like 5 hours a night, 5 days a week on these like league bowlings, and you could like, you know, when you like are sitting downwind at a bonfire, and the next day like everything, like especially if you had long hair.
That's why I
Yeah.
hate I like bonfires, but every
Right.
time if I stay out really late, I have to shower at 2:00 in the
sure.
morning because
Yeah.
otherwise, my whole bed smells.
Right.
Yeah.
It was like that, just walking into the bowling alley in Moberly and leaving. I think they had to like do like
They had to,
tear
like,
down
gut it to
walls
get
and
it
like,
out of there.
yeah.
Yeah, dude. It's
Fun
insane.
fact, you know that like it's on your skin thing smell?
Mm-hmm.
That happened to me one time cleaning out hog barns.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, I had to shave my beard. I don't know how many showers. I took baths. Like I was desperate.
You're like Elaine Bennis from the episode where she what did she smell? Did she get skunked or something?
Yeah,
and she
something
couldn't
like
she
that.
couldn't get it out, and she was like washing her hair with like tomato sauce.
Yeah. Do you know though, like I could smell it strong, and eventually I got to where like I'm having random people smell me, and they're like, "No, you don't stink," and I could like I don't know if it was psychosomatic
Probably in
or
your
what.
like nose hairs.
Who knows, dude? Well, I don't know if you guys remember Colin and his wife, whose
Yeah.
name
Amanda.
escapes me. Amanda. She had, I think you call it like a pixie cut. She had like a short haircut. That was because she was cleaning hog barns, and she had like Amy hair, like long hair, and she had to like off with it. Like
Wow.
couldn't get it out.
Ugh.
It is the worst.
Yeah, that smell is so bad.
This
The
is
smell is so
this
bad.
is a dumb thing that I wanted to talk about that will go nowhere. I was just amazed by this. Do you know the guy? Did you guys ever watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer? And then there was a spinoff, Angel.
Yeah.
You clocking this?
I know what you're talking about.
Do you know the
but
guy from Bones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
David Boreanaz.
Mm.
So Angel or Buffy to Angel to Bones to like he's on a show now.
FBI something.
Yeah, he's been the lead on a network TV show for like 35 years.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? That like we don't even have to talk about this anymore. That just blew me away. So I feel like those people star in something and then do like commercials for the next 20 years.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. He was in something else too.
Mm-hmm.
I thought
Yeah.
didn't he do like a Navy SEAL show?
Yeah, something like that. And I bring this up way too often, but the Dante Bosco TikTok where he does the residual check lottery, and every so often he'll get a residual check for like 10 cents, but then he'll get some for like $300-400. And I'm thinking, what is this dude pulling down? Like,
Does he ever say?
Well, he doesn't do the same thing that Dante bought.
Like Dante only knows Dante.
Right. Well, no, I'm saying does Dante tell like
Oh yeah,
altogether what he's making?
His whole TikTok is like I'm sure he makes them for other reasons, but he'll have a stack of residual checks per month, and he'll open one, and the whole premise is like, am I eating Taco Bell tonight, or am I eating shrimp and then he'll go buy the meal with it, which I think is cool. And I've seen him make like $4.85 and go split a froyo with his wife. Like he'll do it, but I've seen like a lot of times it's like $30-40. He got one, so he'll get a residual check from. Do you guys remember the Goofy movie?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That was his first role, and there's a scene in it where he says, it is his only line. He goes, "Stacy, talk to me, talk to me, talk to me," and he'll get a residual check for that.
Wow.
Now it's like a quarter, but I was thinking about that guy, like David? What's his name? The guy,
David Boreanaz.
Yeah, Boreanaz. What a name.
Boreanaz.
Boreanaz. Way less cool. And like, oh, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, it's on Netflix. All of a sudden, and like, what kind of checks are just rolling in from that?
It's insane.
Well, and all, like that and Bones is also something that like was replayed forever.
Yeah, like any of them, you know, like you think about it, like, you know, oh, it's like Seinfeld. He made $68 million when it went to Hulu or whatever, and you don't think about the guys that aren't probably pulling down that bread, but still probably,
yeah.
just, I would love to know what kind of money they're
Like the one guy from that drove the UPS truck or whatever for Seinfeld.
Yeah.
In Seinfeld, like he's in just I bet you he's probably making something crazy.
Oh yeah.
You know, because like he's not he's not on there a lot,
Right.
but he's on there pretty consistently.
Right.
You know.
No, there's a lot. I went. One of my teachers in high school, his brother was in several movies. He was in like the
We
national.
talked about him, right?
Yeah.
Sling Blade?
Yeah, Sling Blade. Good memory. And his brother, my teacher, would tell me that he'll get a residual check for like $1,000 or something like that, just out of the blue. Yeah, crazy, man.
Here, and someone proposed this question. It's am I the asshole for whatever reason?
Gosh.
So this guy booked his flight months in advance. He's a taller fella. He's like 6'4", according to his.
That's like my
his
height.
post. Yeah. So he's your height. So he usually picks a window seat because that way he can lean up against the window
It's a
and
foot
kind of
taller
stretch
than you.
out. Yeah. And as he's boarding the plane, he sees that this lady is in his seat. The lady, like he politely asks the lady, like, "Hey, this is my seat. Can you move?" And she refuses. She says, "I really need to sit here. I'm pregnant. I need this so that way I can rest." So the man stood his ground and he was like, "Hey, like I booked this seat. I paid for it. Please move." Is he the asshole for making this pregnant lady move to her seat?
Can
Her
I?
assignment?
I have.
Yes.
How pregnant is she?
Nope. Because here's the deal. It doesn't matter like why for me. Like if you want that seat, you should have bought that. And I get really, really sick in the air, whether you're a
Yeah.
guy or a girl. So having a window seat when you are somebody who doesn't fly well,
Yeah.
that is like detrimental. Like if
Right.
you are not like you can't see out, you're spending the entire next 2 to 3 hours
Right.
like
Dealing with it.
trying not to
Right.
vomit excessively.
For sure.
So
All
like
right. Let me-
we don't know
Let me
that,
take this.
and
I agree.
She's a brat.
I agree 100% with you. I think the problem is,
It's a guy.
yes, the problem is she's the asshole, and if he denies her that, he is also the asshole. I think in that position, you're like, man, that really sucks that somebody was being kind of selfish there and didn't plan ahead. You got to take that one on the chin.
But see,
That's
I
just a
don't think
time-
as a female I would, because I know how sick I get. Like
Yeah.
I have to specifically take.
Listen, I'm agreeing with you 100%. I'm saying like it's one
Any
of those.
guy should do it, but a girl is okay.
I think so. That's
Okay.
my stance, and I think it's just one of those times when like the world sucks sometimes. You know what I mean? That's my stance. To each his own.
So Jimmy, did she get to stay in the seat?
No, she got moved.
Okay.
Because I mean, he had his ticket and she had her
Also-
ticket, which was like the center seat a couple rows back.
This might make me sound like a jerk, but like I wouldn't think as a pregnant person you would want the window seat. I would think you would want the aisle.
Pee and stuff.
Yeah, because it's there. You have a little bit more.
I
space.
needed,
by the
I
way,
needed to
this
say
is-
this. I'm sorry.
it's a 12-hour flight. That is the one thing there.
Well, so I needed to say this. If it was just some person, I think I'd feel differently about that. But because she was like
Visibly pregnant.
visibly pregnant, that's why I said that. I needed to make it wasn't just a man-woman thing. It was like, or in other words, if it's me and you're like, hey, I have to see out the window or I'll die. It's like, yeah, I guess I get that. Okay,
Yeah.
it sucks. I tried to make this work for me or whatever.
Yeah.
Does it matter if she's like,
A 12-hour flight though?
if it's
wild.
like
That's weird
8
that
to
she
9 months
wants
pregnant,
to sit
or
there.
if it's like
Is what, Jim?
if like
You're
the
not going to
term-
know sometimes if somebody is
Well, I'm just saying
under
like
5.
does it?
Saying like how pregnant she
Yeah, it
looks.
doesn't
like
matter
is
as
she like
like
Also,
anytime this
you
baby's
can't-
coming
There are women who start showing at like 4 months, like they
Right.
look.
for
sure, but
Yeah.
I just
You're saying does it matter how pregnant she
Yeah.
is? Probably. I would assume like
if she's like I'm 8 weeks pregnant, I need the seat
And
so
you
I can
can't tell?
rest. Yeah,
I would say probably just because visually, if she's like about to burst,
Mm-hmm.
I feel more incentive to be like, hey, maybe next time you plan ahead, but okay, have the
well,
seat or whatever.
Yeah.
that's kind of what I think about is like if you know you're pregnant and you know you want the extra space, like you can book the seat well in advance. Like I don't think most people just hop on a plane to go somewhere without planning.
But I
ahead.
also there's people like who do things like not this for example, but like when they book seats, like they'll book flights and they like won't sit with their kids and stuff like that, and then they make that other people's problems, which for the most part it's totally fine. But like
Yeah.
you should make every effort. Like plane rides for me have always been high anxiety. I can't
Yeah.
imagine being a little kid and getting on a plane with my parents and my parents not have bought the ticket
Right.
for me to sit right next to them
Yeah.
and we're gonna go in and chance it.
Yeah.
Like that seems not appropriate to
I
me.
think
Yeah.
I totally agree. I think if you are making decisions knowing that's someone else's problem, they're going to have to figure this out for me. That's selfishness, and that's part of what's wrong with the world. However, how you respond to that is the only control you have in that scenario.
Right.
So I think it's just going to suck, and you're going to have a story to tell on a podcast one day.
And so what if you paid extra money to be in that specific seat because it was like an exit seat? Does that change?
I
Like
would-
you paid an extra $150 to sit in that window seat.
I think it would
Because
change.
because your thought process is that if the plane goes down, I want to be closer.
No,
what does that mean?
that's generally when there's more like.
I would. I think it
Oh.
would change things, insofar as I'm now emailing customer service of the flight, the airline, and being like, I don't think it's my job to police this, and I didn't get what I bought. I would like a refund
Well, also
because that is for sure not your job,
here's
right? Like,
here's the next question. Why did she pick the seat? Like, if you said that she was, if this guy says that she was actually moved back to her row, why didn't she pick the seat in her row?
it was taken.
I know, but that's
Yeah.
that's the the whole
No,
point
I mean,
of it is
someone was
she-
already there. is
But
what
she
I'm
should have
saying.
just said, "Hey, can we trade?"
Yeah, and they didn't. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
No, that sucks a lot, and I'm bummed for that guy. But I would say, I don't know, man. Like,
I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
As the guy, you should probably do that. But like, let's say that me and Jimmy are sitting next to each other,
yeah,
and then it turns into, hey, can we switch for whatever reason? And it's like now I can't sit next to my person, and I'm high
Well,
anxiety
that's
flying.
different. That's a different thing. So if I chose this seat and she's in it, and the other two are taken, and like I've got to separate from my daughter, you're going to have to leave. I'm so sorry. I'm not letting my daughter be alone on this flight. That's a different thing.
Right, but it's
For
like,
me.
but these things happen
For sure.
where there are people who are like, hey, we actually planned this trip, and oh, we got engaged. We didn't know we were going to get engaged. Can we sit? We want to
my
sit
goodness,
next to
I'm
each
so
other.
happy for you. Get out of my seat.
But I'm just saying
Yeah.
that
The rest of your
happens.
lives.
I've watched it. I've
Yeah.
watched it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The older I get, the more like detestable that like level of selfishness gets for me. Like watching people just inconvenience strangers
Mm-hmm.
because it's entitlement is what it is.
For sure.
That one may not have been because that lady might have been like, "Yo, 12 hours of this, I'm gonna be."
That's where I
gonna
think
be-
he's not like I would say he's not an asshole for asking her to leave just because it's a 12-hour flight. So that's 12 hours of him.
I'll tell you, 12
Select-
hours complicates it a lot for me. I would
Yeah.
agree, but
Yeah.
if it's me, I also just view myself as able to put up with a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I value toughness in myself, and I detest weakness in myself. So it's like, I'll tough this out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Personally, now each his own. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
What about you, Nate? What do you think?
It wouldn't even have been a thing. I would have been like, if I was by myself and I was on the flight, I would have been like,
Well, this is more of like, is he an asshole for asking her to leave?
I think so, but that's just me. Because I would be like, all right, I'm gonna sit in the back. Like I would just be like, it's gonna suck no matter what.
You're gonna get a middle seat. That's where her seat
Been
was.
there.
Yeah, I would just put up with it. It wouldn't. I'm not the guy to ask because I don't get bothered by that stuff as much as other people usually. Like,
I think it would bother you if like Jimmy said, you paid extra,
yeah,
like to have that. So I think there's that part of you.
yeah, I would be bothered by
Right.
it, but it wouldn't. I wouldn't make a scene
Yeah.
at all. I would just be like,
That's a better question.
Now,
what
what
would
if-
make you make a scene?
Yeah.
You know?
What if
I don't think I'd ever make
have
a
to be my-
scene. I think
it would have to be my family was involved, or so. It'd have to be like my daughter or my
Agreed.
wife or something. Like if I was by myself on a plane and that was it, I'd be
And
like,
they were terrorists. and
I don't
you
want to
had
be here anyway. Like this just.
What
you
if
know?
her seat was like between two other like larger people, and
Yeah.
you physically could not sit between them?
Oh well, that would be. Then I'd have to get somebody involved probably because it'd be like it's a safety thing, you know. Be
Well,
like,
I
can't
think
s- there's
that
nowhere for
side of
me
the
to
plane.
sit.
I'm already anxious flying on that plane
Right.
because that right side of the plane has too much weight on it right now.
Yeah.
And we have to make the weight distribution better.
Yeah.
The one I would like to hear Nate weigh in on is guy on a plane, and they come up to him and say, "You have to leave the plane," because I watched a TikTok of this. He bought the ticket. He's in his seat. They're like, "No, we need you to leave so and so can get on the plane." And he's like, "No, I mean I bought this. You can't like."
Yeah.
And they were like, "We're gonna comp you on the next trip," and it's like, "But the trip, it doesn't matter because I need to be home at such and such time."
This
Yeah.
happened like this. We all got on a flight and they actually wouldn't let any of us board because they were offering a voucher and it got up. Did it get up to like $1,000? And they were just looking for one person to give up a seat because they had overbooked.
See, but
And
that's
the-
okay.
and the-
Like if you're asking electively, like who wants this?
well, they
But
wouldn't let the plane take off.
But the one I saw, but see, even then, it's like I'll be inconvenienced for money. The one I saw was like this thing you bought, you can't have it. You
Yeah.
bought it, we sold it to you. Get off the plane. That's
That's
a different
wild.
thing.
Yeah.
And it's also like, why me? Was I
Yeah.
the last one to buy it? Like, what?
Yeah.
Why did you choose me?
Yeah.
That's you should drive. Hey, if you're listening to this, understand that our official podcast view is just drive and stop at rest stops and stretch your legs. You know, just don't fly.
Yeah. I just drive.
Definitely
That's
don't
my
fly
goal.
with Jimmy
If you have
Nichols.
to go to Europe, just drive.
Just drive boat. Just drive across the. Just drive.
Just get on a
drive the
ferry
water.
and just tote
We don't-
yourself over there.
Never mind. So I have one more. We can end up to this. This is a quick one. It's just going to be kind of a yes or no. I saw this TikTok that was like, "Would you for $1 billion, you freeze time, just you? You're the only one active. Everybody else is frozen. Every like emergency service, like you turn the faucet, water's going to come out. You have electricity." Nothing's falling out. There's no satellites falling out of the sky. There's no nuclear power plants going to blow up. Nothing like that. There's no health risks here. But you're just alone for 1,000 years.
No.
You can't die. You're not going to age. Now it did say this, which I think I'm going to win you on this one. You can still like improve your body and stuff. You can still like lift. You can still do things. When you come to, or when everybody comes to, in 1,000 years, $1 billion. No time has passed for them, but you've been alone
No.
1,000 years. Not even a question for you.
No.
It's not even tempting.
Living for 1,000 years? That sounds horrible.
Yeah, it
I'd
does.
run out of stuff to do.
By yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be ready to stop at like 30 days.
30?
30 days. Well, I guess
I think you'd figure it out. Like okay, here's a good point.
What are you going to
When-
walk up to people that are frozen and like have a conversation with Jim the mailman? And
I think it would be inconceivably hard. I'm not saying it's an easy time. I'm saying by the time Amy was unfrozen, you'd be a master pilot. I mean, you still need hours and stuff. You'd be very well read. You know what I mean? You'd have a lot to talk about. You'd have seen all the movies she saw as a kid. I mean, there are some benefits there, and let's not forget $1 billion. Like
Yeah,
you-
I think you might like this is dumb, but I think you might be kind of like if you've lived for 1,000 years, I think you might be like incapable of having like relationships or something.
Yeah,
Like,
there's going to be some stuff
I think
that
you're
you
gonna
don't
have.
know.
I think you're gonna
but
be
yeah.
mentally like
Checked out.
Yeah, something's gonna be there where you're gonna like
I think there's
you're
some
gonna have a hard time
you're
talking
right.
because you know so much more than everybody or something. Like there's gonna be something that's
Well, it's a
makes
mental
it really,
breakdown.
Yeah,
Like once you started hearing voices again,
yeah. I don't think
You-
you'd get to
you-
enjoy the money. I think you'd be.
It'd be like
family
I Am
would, though.
I
Legend.
think you'd be off the rocker.
You just
family
go and
would, though.
talk with
Yeah.
mannequins in the store.
Yeah, but they wouldn't have you. It'd be like
true.
you
And
know.
all animals, everything around you is also frozen
I'm
too.
not. I mean, I'm not that much of a prize though. You know what I mean? Like I'm take it or leave it. But
That would
let me
be-
ask
that
you
would be
this.
tough,
all
man.
right. Let's go alternate question on the same lines. How many years could you make it? Or how long? I guess I just assumed years. You could make it a long time.
yeah.
I don't know that you could do like a century.
I mean, I could make it. And they
Okay, would you do it for a year?
wait. So in
So
the-
you're
Same
talking about-
scenario, not 1,000 years for a year.
And he's gonna walk around and see his wife frozen in a position, and that's like his existence with her.
Yeah,
but they don't.
but she doesn't. She
but
doesn't.
we don't lose
I
any
know.
time.
I understand
None.
that. I'm just clarifying.
None. When time is unfrozen, you are a second older.
That's tough, dude. I don't know. I
You
think I could.
still. You could still live. Okay, how about this?
I
too?
could make it a year, maybe.
You know what you would do?
How much
personally?
money are you getting out at the end of a year, though?
$1 million.
We'll go something crazy. We'll go $10 million. You know what you would do specifically?
What?
Your land.
Yeah.
You'd dig a bunker.
Oh
Like,
yeah. There's all kinds of cool stuff
dude,
you could do.
You would like when they came to like, it'd be totally like it would that would be kind of freaky for them.
Yeah, it would.
But like hopefully they know what's gonna happen, and you'd be a little different.
Yeah, that one's like. Yeah, I don't know. You know.
A year though feels like a little more doable. Oh, they also said this one I might lose you. Whatever time of day it is, it just stays that day for the year. The state stays that time of day for the year. So if it's at noon, it's noon, 24 hours a day.
Gosh.
That part actually I think might make you break just as bad.
So, like, are clocks frozen? How are you keeping time?
Is
I don't know.
because people are frozen? Is there no infrastructure?
What do you mean? Like you can go use your car. You can go do
But
stuff.
that's
so
why,
there's, like, electricity
But
and
like
stuff,
I
like,
just
it's not-
asked,
okay.
like, are animals frozen?
Yeah.
Because like, okay, so what you're gonna eat is gonna
They said in the thing like food doesn't spoil. So like you could.
So you could just walk into the Wendy's and just pick up a
Yeah,
burger.
I guess get past like the moral issues of like having to steal from restaurants and stuff, and like you can go get a rotisserie chicken from Sam's Club every day or whatever. Let's just
I'd
assume,
kill all my own food probably. It can't go anywhere.
dude. But that's not sporting.
No, I
You should
know.
walk out there and
I
just.
know.
What do you? And you want to process your own food rather than go get a rotisserie chicken?
I got all the time in the world, bro.
That doesn't mean waste it. You know how many?
Why would I waste
How
it?
many holes you could like processing a deer?
You could
Yeah.
go and you could just get an already cut steak. That way you
I
can
know, but
spend
you'd
time
actually have
preparing
the
it.
time to do
You
it.
know, I will say that probably would keep you more sane.
Yeah,
Like if every day was about your survival.
100%.
But I think if you specifically, like, okay, I train on these days a week, like that's a given, and then like I'm getting 8 hours of sleep at night minimum.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's weirdly, you'd come out of that year like really healthy.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I took all my supplements for 365 days.
Mm-hmm.
I got 8 hours a night plus a nap,
Sick.
hydration on point.
But no
I
one
mean-
to play his games with.
Well, but a year though. You think you could do a year?
I think so. I mean, it would suck, but I think I could do it. Yeah.
5 years.
Oof. That's so long.
5 would be hard because of like getting to like 2, and then you'd be like, oh, I've got more than double left. Or getting to 4, being like, I have a year of this.
I think
left.
if you made it to a year, 5 probably wouldn't be bad.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
If
I
you
feel
make
like
it, so Jimmy's point of view here for those listening, if you get to a point, 5 times further is easy.
Well, if you're at 4 years and then
Right.
to get to the 5th year, that's only a year left. So you're on the downslope.
Oh, you're
Like,
saying you get to a year left?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant when you get to the first year, 5 is easy.
No.
That's what I thought you were saying.
No.
that's a
Which
crazy
is like
question.
saying running a marathon is hard, but the next 4
It's
are
really only
easy.
it's
The
like
first
a
mile
weird.
is,
That's an
is
interesting question.
easy.
It's the first marathon that gets you, not the last 4. All right, guys.
Well, it's been fun.
Thanks for stopping by. For heaven's sakes, come back again. Bring us questions, comments. What should Amy get tattooed on her? What should I get tattooed on my face? Are you doing the 1,000-year challenge? Nah, I'm going to say 5 years, 10 mil. Are you doing it? Yes or no? Get us in the comments. We love you. Bye.
Bye.